shortly. We'll get started. It's my great pleasure to welcome the runner-up of the Open Championship, Tommy Fleetwood, to the Media Centre. Can you describe to us the day and how you're feeling at the conclusion of the championship?
Yeah, obviously disappointed and a bit low. It feels... I know, I look at it now, 6 shots back, but the last 3 or 4 holes were kind of, a bit of a procession for Shane, and he did great. Felt like if I could have started better, I hit 2 great shots on 1. I didn't convert 2. I hit a good shot in after a sort of pulled tee shot 3, missed a short one, and then first few holes were obviously when you start 4 back, pretty crucial, and I didn't do a good enough job of sort of pressing at that point. Struggled in the middle, then 4 back with 6 to go, you're still in it, and 14 was the killer. But when you, I know 6 shots is a long way behind in the end, but it always feels closer when you're playing. And yeah, it's not great now. I'm happy for Shane, don't get me wrong, but disappointed in the overall day.
Questions from the floor?
Hi, Tommy. Was there actually a point in that round where you thought, I've lost my chance to catch him now? Was it a specific point?
14, I think. Especially, definitely 15. I think 14 was just a bit of a killer blow, really. I hit a really good tee shot. I'd actually, after struggling through the middle of the round with my game, and when the weather came in and missed a short putt on 10, I played 11 great, I played 12 great, 13 an okay shot. It just, it's hard to hold that green. Good chip and putt on 14, a great tee shot, end up in the bunker, and then you have to push something. Obviously, like a poor second shot out of the bunker, and then it was always tough from there. It's such a difficult hole if you're out of position, that one, and clearly made a mess. But once that hole was over, that was pretty much, you never want to think like that, and you obviously do you carry on, but that was pretty much it.
Microphone 3, please.
Tommy, you're obviously low, and it says a great deal that you come in and face this lot after a day at the office, but what do you take out of that? I mean, there must be a lot of positives, and it must really make you say, I want to go one better and get one of these at least in my career.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, whatever happened today, it was going to be an experience, and you were going to take things from it. You're going to, that's the first time I've played in the last group of a major on a Sunday. You learn things as you go. You learn things about yourself. I watched Shane win the Open. I watched how he conducted himself and how he played. And, for 4 rounds of golf, I was the second best player in the event, which is, it is a great achievement. And you have to look at it like that. And I'm sure in a few hours or a couple of days, I might see that. But, I'll reflect. I think... I played a lot of very, very good golf this week, and I think for me personally, it was nice to play more like I feel like how I should play again. And of course, in a major, it's my second runner-up in a major, which is great, and I'm trending in the right way. I just hope my time will come eventually.
Microphone 2.
Hi, Tommy. There was no one that went out in the afternoon under par. Can you talk us through just how difficult it was out there with those conditions?
Yeah, I think when we got on the 8, 9, 10, it's just, shocking weather. It was really, really difficult. I made a par on 9 that felt like a birdie. And it was just tough. I think everybody would have got to a point and started going backwards. It played really, really difficult. And when the wind's like that on a links course, of course, it plays hard. That's just the way it is, and you've got to do your bit. I think that makes Shane's round of 1 over even more impressive, controlling the day like he did. But yeah, it was just brutal. It was that is part of the Open generally. That's what it's supposed to be like, and it was rough at times. So I think the scoring just played really, really difficult. Microphone 1.
Tommy, I know the scores and the conditions were obviously wildly contrasting, but how does this feel different to Shinnecock?
Shinnecock, I felt great that week. I had that rough Saturday, but Sunday turned up, and it was. If I'd have shot 70 on the Sunday, it probably had finished top 20 maybe at Shinnecock, and it would have been fine. Shinnecock, I still had a little piece of history to go with it. I shot a 63 and it felt great, but it never, it was never my tournament. Today, you're much more in the mix. I've had a really good feeling all week, and the other part of it is I'm not like, I'm not putting down the US Open, but if I could pick one event, it'd be the Open. It's my dream, and it always will be. And you're teeing off in the last group on Sunday with a very, very good chance. So it feels a lot rougher finishing when you feel like you've come so close to, what you've dreamt of as a kid. So that one just feels different.
Do we have any more questions? Yep.
When you said you watched how he conducted himself, what'd you see? He had been in this position before, so.
He played really well, hit the right shots. Didn't always hit great shots. It was very difficult out there. Never lost control of himself. He made some key putts at key times, even down to the first hole. The first hole, if you look at it, I have 6-7 feet for birdie. He has 6-7 feet for bogey. I hole, he misses. We've got a one-shot gap all of a sudden, and that's just after one hole. So he did better in those moments than I did today. I just didn't convert the putts at times. And then my errant shots, I didn't do a great job of fixing them. But, to lead by 4 at the start of the day and to keep that and to just control, he literally controlled the tournament from, the start of today till the end. And that's a very, very impressive thing to do.
Just behind.
Tommy, you're obviously understandably disappointed now, but in a few days' time, can you take the positives from sort of finding your form that you'd been looking for in majors this season?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'll stop you asking questions about why my major performances are so bad this year. So, it's been a great week. My game hasn't been where I wanted it for a few weeks, and neither has my overall mindset. But that always happens when you're not playing that great. You're obviously not going to feel as confident. And I think this week I turned up. I've been working really well. But this week I turned up and just had a good feeling, carried through. And yeah, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to have learned things. I can write things down on reflection. How I felt last night, how I felt this morning, how I felt on the golf course. What I could have done better, what I did do great, and what I need to repeat next time. And there's, you can reflect all you want when you finish 30th, 40th, but it's these kind of results that that you look at and that you can find more in. Hopefully I'll put myself in position again numerous times, and hopefully I can make it happen. Eventually, we have a long wait now until the next major, so it'll be difficult to come down for a few days, but you've got to get back on it and start again.
As you mentioned there, I think it's 263 days, or maybe 262 to the Masters. Is that strange? Does it feel like that's going to be a really long time?
It is a really long time, and the schedule's been tough this year, and I think part of that, if you're not playing great, you actually don't have time this year to develop your game, because you don't have that time to take periods off. Really, you're constantly playing, and you always have to turn up and perform with the way that it goes. But it's a long time until the next major, but there's a lot to play for in between that time, and that's what we do. We're professional golfers, so looking forward to getting back on it and practicing and hopefully improving.
Tommy, thank you so much for all your time this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.